Hey Emily. So, your video made me realize something. All semester, my professor for English has been saying write things that you're not comfortable with. Write things that you don't really know about. Always choose the thing that you are most unsure about. I'm just like, why would I do that? I mean, if there's a choice where I'm comfortable with something and I think I can make an argument for it, why would I pick the choice where I'm kind of unsure about it right off the bat? And I think Lois Lowry was sort of saying the same thing, that you should write about things that are somewhat incendiary and somewhat, you know, too complicated to understand, right away. Because that's what's going to make you a good writer, is your ability to research something up to the point where you can write about it. I mean, look at the Fountainhead. You may not like it, you may not agree with it, whatever, but you can't really, sit there and think, well, she obviously knew everything about architecture, that's why she wrote 800 pages about it. No, she researched about it, and that's why she was able to make such a convincing story, I think. And even when we don't realize it, we sort of venture into the unknown just naturally. I'm not gonna write a story about all the flavors of ice cream. No, I'm gonna write a story about maybe why people like so and so flavor of ice cream, because that's what's where the argument is not what I know, which is the ice cream, but what I don't know, which is why. And simple things like that is, those things make us good writers, I think. The sad truth about writing is that not everyone can do it. Sure, we can all write, like things that we know, but not many people can write creatively. Even though English is like one of the top majors in college and stuff, people actually aren't that good at it, and that's why we have authors. I mean, you recently read Fault in Our Stars. We all know that John Green is not a 16-year-old girl. I mean, did he really know anything about 16-year-old girls? Probably not, So that means that he ventured into the unknown. I mean, we all sort of gravitate towards things that we don't understand because we want to understand them. I think that our exposure to past successful writers can put a pressure on us to write originally. And that's why sometimes I think that things like Twilight and The Hunger Games become so popular, because they're not really about writing style, but they're really about content. And people want to think that that sort of thing is somewhat, new and exciting. But really, I think it's about going back to things that we're not as exposed to, and that's why it's become a trend, is because people haven't seen it for such a long time that they sort of rediscovered it. But in general, people do write things that they don't know about naturally, because you're not going to write about things that that don't motivate you, and because writing is a very emotional thing to do. It's cathartic for some people, right? Poetry isn't like, oh well, I don't feel like doing anything today, I might as well write a poem. No, it's when you feel a certain way that you are able to write. That's why there's writer's block. You don't feel like writing all the time. But what Lois Lowry meant, I think, and I think you interpreted it differently, is that for good writing, being uncomfortable about something is how you begin your writing, basically. If you're not motivated by what you're writing, you're not going to be able to write it. And I think that's what Lois Lowry really meant, is that that's what it's all about, making yourself want to write something. Because even people like Kurt Vonnegut and Roald Dahl have said that writing is such a pain in the butt because it's not so easy, and some people really struggle, even people who are so successful at it. And maybe now, you can realize why high school essays are difficult to write, is that not many people are motivated to write it. And maybe now you can write about something that you really don't want to write about. That way you can want to write about it. Apparently that's how the logic works. Alright, I'll see you soon. Bye.